Hi, Putnam virtual students, and if there's any parents or learning coaches online, welcome. This content today is about digital safety and digital citizenship, and this is state mandated content because being online is so much a part of young people's lives. It's important to have some safety guidelines, and I know you guys may have heard this content before, but you know, sometimes hearing something multiple times, it starts becoming part of our permanent memory, and there's a better chance that we will think before we act as we learn this. So I am going to share my screen. We have a PowerPoint that'll guide us through this. All right, if all went well, you should see a screen. It says 6th through 12th grade. Lesson 1, Digital Safety and Citizenship. And this content is one of the contents that's state approved. It's from a company called Teen Safety Matters. The parent company was Child Safety Matters, but they made the teenage version. So as part of this curriculum, we're going to be covering digital, physical, and emotional safety. But today, we're just going to focus on digital safety. As a virtual school, you guys are online, and I'm sure it's not only just for FLBS. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Let's get going. All right, before we get started with content today, let's do a quick check-in to see what you already know about digital safety. I'm going to read a statement to you, and I want you to mentally or physically, if you feel like it, give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, true or false. All right, first one. The internet is a good tool to use appropriately because it allows you to learn about resources you otherwise would not know. True or false? Yeah, true. If I meet someone, number 2, if I meet someone online, it's okay to give them my personal information, like my phone number and address, so we can meet up. True? False? What do you think? Hopefully you recognize that that was false. There are a lot of scary people out there, and we do not want to be given our address online. All right, next one. Oh, and another thing too about giving our address online, even though you may think it's the person that you know, there is such a thing as false profiles, catfishing, all this kind of thing. And so you really don't want to do that unless you have verified that. Maybe if it's someone that you text back and forth with, you can text your phone number, but I would avoid any social media site exchanges. All right, number 3, cyberbullying is repeated online harassment or bullying, like posting rumors or gossip on social media. True or false? Yeah, that's true. That is a big problem, cyberbullying. I forgot to put the statements on there. Let me get them up there. All right, the 4th one. If you post something offline that you later think is not good for your digital reputation, you realize it, you can always delete it. True or false? Well, yes, you may be able to delete it, but it's never really gone, because once something is posted, it is a form of permanence. People could have screenshot it while it was up, and in those server systems on those sites, they do archive all of that. And the 5th one, if you send a private image to another person online, you can get in trouble for sending or receiving the image by your school and law enforcement. Is that true or false? Well, that's definitely true for law enforcement, especially if it would be a nude photo, because if you send a nude photo, even if it's not of you, if it's someone under 18, that's technically considered child pornography, and you can be charged with that. So yes, it is definitely something you can get in trouble for. All right, moving on. Digital self-awareness and self-management. There is no doubt we are living in a digital world. 1 in 3 of you teenagers believes that technology is just as important to you as food, water, shelter, and air. Now, that may be an over-exaggeration, but in the digital world, you know, we can have so much fun. We can laugh and see funny videos and learn dances on TikTok, but there are some real dangers associated with the internet. Think to yourself about some of the mishaps or dangers or terrible experiences people have had online. And I'm just gonna, you know, many, I mean, everybody does, but I'm just gonna name a few that I know of. I mean, I was principal of a 6th grade center school, so these are 6th graders. And then I was principal at QI Roberts, that's 7th through 12th graders. So at all ages in this spectrum, I know of these problems going on, and it caused great repercussions for those students. But things that happen, inappropriate images online, sexting, sending or receiving those pictures, cyberbullying, apps and website using your information without your permission, or somebody taking a picture of you and posting it to make fun of, identity theft, online predators pretending to be someone they're not in order to groom students for abuse and even sextortion, which we'll talk about later. Some teens think that they're safe, it won't happen to them, it really doesn't matter. Everybody else is doing this with the pictures, sending the pictures. But these things can actually really hurt you or other people, and they are preventable. You just have to be smart and take the high road and don't just fall into that peer pressure of doing this online exchange because everyone else is. And you have to decide how you're going to interact. Will you be safe? Will you be a leader? Or are you going to be a crowd follower? And will you make good decisions and have enough respect for yourself to not do things that damage your digital reputation? Having self-awareness and good self-management skills will help you be safe. And you can also encourage your friends to be safe. You know, maybe you have a friend who is doing something inappropriate, sharing some information or pictures. You can encourage them, hey, you know, someday that could come back out, people could see that. You can be a good digital citizen by helping others. And just a recap of what we just talked about. All right, so there are 5 safety rules that can be your guidelines as you interact online. And the first one is know what's up. You know, this is not new content. You've heard about all of this happening. You do know what's up. Remember it. Remember all the things that can happen, and don't share that personal information. The second one is spot red flags. And red flags are anytime a site or someone is asking you for inappropriate information, address, pictures, anything like that. That's a red flag. And that leads me to the next one, which is make a move. Safety rule number 3, make a move. If you are in an unsafe situation in real life or online, get out of there. Close that window. Get off the text, get off the site. Don't just stay when you know it doesn't feel right and you saw those red flags. And the fourth one, say something does happen. Talk it up. Tell somebody, tell a trusted adult, your parent, a trusted, you can tell me, you can tell Ms. Putman, you can tell, you probably have relatives. Tell somebody what's going on. If you know you or someone else is being hurt by some online content, even if you maybe did something, you had a piece of that you did, It generally does not just go away. It doesn't end silently usually. And if you can take action, you can save yourself a lot of grief by being proactive, and adults can intervene and get things shut down before there's a lot of, embarrassment. One of the things you can do is have an assertive voice in your life. And your voice is not just the volume of it. Being assertive can mean being confident and forceful with your words. And those words can be typed or articulated orally, but mean what you say. And people will hear that in your words and in your voice. And it doesn't mean being mean, but you can be very clear. For example, if someone you have never met, is messaging you asking where you live or where you go to school, you can just say, please stop messaging me. I'm not going to share that information with you. Or just please stop messaging me. Or close the screen. You don't even have to tell them anything. You don't owe them any explanation. You don't owe them anything. When it comes to your safety, you have the right to say no and not get put in an unsafe situation. And, use that safety rule number 3, make a move, get away. If anyone behaves in a way that you don't like, it's a red flag, leave and tell somebody about it. All right, so we said talk it up, tell somebody about it. So what can they do about stuff on the internet? Well, I know we think there's nothing they can do about it, but sometimes we can. We can intervene, we can get law enforcement involved, and sometimes it is hard, but sometimes we can get some things taken care of. So find a safe adult, and a safe adult is someone who is older than you, who can get you help. Even if they're not the one that can make it happen, they can find someone who can. And if the first safe adult you tell doesn't handle it, tell another one. Keep going to someone until you get the help. It's not worth your mental stress and all the anxiety and sleepless nights of dealing with something when you can get some help with it. So safe adults may be like a coach, a parent, family friends, school staff. I want you to think about, just in your mind right now, everybody should have 2, one and then a backup. And if you have 3, that's great. But just in your mind right now, think if something went down online and you were really upset, do you have a trusted adult you could tell? Just keep that in the back of your mind. In addition to safe adults, we have friends, and hopefully you have a safe friend that you could confide in, and you may be a safe friend for someone and they can confide in you. And the important thing about anything to do with your safety when you are a minor is don't let it stop with just that safe friend. Make sure that safe friend accompanies you, supports you to get to that safe adult that you can tell that can intervene and do something. We don't want it ending at the friend level. We need to get the adults involved. And the safe friend should never be a replacement for a safe adult. And if you are the receiving person, someone has confided something with you, you know they're being unsafe, they're talking to someone online, talking about meeting up. It's your responsibility, really, as a good friend, to not keep that secret. That is not snitching when it has to do with someone's safety. They could be kidnapped or put into human trafficking. So we never know for sure who's really behind these texts. So it's really important to speak up and get an adult involved. All right, let's move on to our last safety rule, which is no blame, no shame. Adults are responsible for keeping you safe. So if an adult ever hurts you, you are not to blame. You should not be ashamed because you had any part in it, you're a minor. You are not to blame for that. Someone took advantage of you. And even if it was a long time ago, it's never too late to tell. And it's not right. It's not right to be bullied or hurt by others. And as you grow older, you are going to encounter many more situations and people, and you're going to have to make good choices for your safety. And no matter what happens, it's important to remember you should never feel ashamed to talk about decisions that you've made, because we all make mistakes. And talking to a safe adult and asking for help if you feel unsafe or have made unsafe and inappropriate decisions, it's a learning experience. And it can also help you avoid, by getting an adult involved, it can help you avoid further negative fallout and consequences. So let's review all of the 5 safety rules. Let's see, there it is. Know what's up, know what's safe and not safe, what you should and shouldn't do. Spot those red flags, those things like someone asking for your address, asking for photos. Even if you are trying to be pulled into almost like a cyberbullying thing where your friends are like, oh, let's get on and post some funny stuff or make fun of this person, you know, that's a red flag. Someone's trying to get you to do something you shouldn't. Third, make a move. When you're in those situations, don't stay. Get out of there. Close the site, break it off, just remove yourself from that issue. And then talk it up. Tell a trusted friend or an adult. Shouldn't say or, always tell that trusted adult, but that friend may help you get the courage to do so. And then remember the 5th one, no blame, no shame. You are a minor. You are not to be blamed for some decisions. Maybe you made a mistake, or even when someone has gotten you to do something under false pretenses, again, you are not to blame. There is no shame in telling and getting help. All right, so let's do a little safety check to see how you interact with technology and how your activities could be putting you at risk. I'm going to read a statement, and if your answer is yes, just make a mental note of that. So let's see here. First one. I have used social networking sites and apps like Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Just keep track. I have checked in while online, like the movies or at a friend's house or at a theme park or something. I have posted a picture of someone else without asking permission, or someone has posted a picture of me without asking permission. I sometimes chat and message people I don't know. And I have posted something in the past online that I would not want my grandmother or my coach or a future employee to see. All right, so of those 5, think about how many were yeses for you. Were you 1 yes, 2, 3, or were all 5 yeses? All right, so if you are 4 to 5 in that yes column, you are at high risk for exposing yourself to potential online safety. So let's talk a little bit about the deeper parts of this. There are great things about technology. Everything we want to know is at our fingertips. It can be funny, but there is a catch with technology. And they came up with a little mnemonic device to help us remember these different pieces to the catch of technology. The first one, is C for choices in catch. And how many pictures or tweets or snaps do you think most teens post a day? How many do you think? 1, 2. And then let's ask ourselves, why is it so important? Why do we do that? Why do young and old feel the need to get those likes and retweets? Wonder why? Well, for many people, they get their self-esteem through getting those likes. And they conjure up all, well, how can they word this? What pictures can they post? And that builds them up. And that's actually a little bit unfortunate. That's a little, that's not a good thing. We want our self-esteem to be strong and innate and not depend on likes from people that probably aren't really our friends, really, when it comes down to it. And that can lead, this desire to be liked can lead people to make some really bad choices, not only on social media sites, but in private exchanges of information and photos. All right, so this next video is a true story, and I can't tell you how many even worse situations I know of here in Putnam County high schools and middle schools having happened to real life students. So here's a little video. It's 3 minutes long, and I hope you'll watch it with me and we can debrief afterwards.
Hey, I'm Eduardo. I'm a junior at NHS. I'm not anything special, pretty normal. I get good grades, and my friends are pretty cool. What's up, baby? And even my parents aren't too bad. We love you, mijo. I also do a little swimming. Actually, some recruiters have been checking me out. I'm hoping to get a scholarship to college, so my parents don't have to worry too much about tuition. Last week was a championship meet, and it was awesome. Our team owned, and I set a school record in freestyle. Someone from the team decided to throw a party, and it was great. Everyone from school was there, including the hot girls in my science class. People were acting so crazy, I had to take them pictures, man. I may have had a little too much fun. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to take pictures, but then I got really dumb and posted them on my page. It's just what everyone does. And I didn't even think to use my privacy settings. So once I posted them, everyone could see it and anyone could share it. I found that out when I was called to the principal's office and saw some of the pictures from my page sitting on her desk. Coach was there too. It was really disappointing. It seems like one of my so-called friends had sent them the pictures. But which one? It could have been anybody. My ex-girlfriend, who's always mad at me for something. One of my teammates, who seemed kind of jealous. It could have even been some guy I spoke to once in the ninth grade. I guess it doesn't even matter, because I'm the one who put the pictures up there in the first place. Now my principal's saying I violated the student athlete code of conduct. I signed it at the beginning of the year, with zero tolerance. Meaning, no more chances. I'm off the team. Goodbye scholarship. On top of that, we got suspended. I've never seen my parents so mad. Even my teammates won't talk to me. Some of them were in those pictures, and they've been calling to the principal's office too. At first, I was really mad at whoever sent the pictures. What business was it of theirs? But then, I realized that as soon as I posted the pictures online, I made it their business. It was really all me. I was two kinds of stupid. I was the one who broke the rules, and then I posted the pictures online. It was one mistake after another. So that's my story. I used to be this kid. Now I'm this. This was all it took.
All right, so let's start off by acknowledging that drinking at a party is not only illegal, but has many negative consequences. And I know a lot of you, this is 6 through 12 or 7 through 12, so some of you are not exposed to that yet, but I think it's good to think ahead of what could be, whether it's in college or whatever, because the more we can start talking about this, the more you have that awareness and the understanding that things we post and do can have lasting effects, whether it's just with our reputation. Employers are checking social media sites now before they hire people. I know I've done it when I've had applicants for positions. I search for them online to see what type of person they are, what they've posted. Colleges are doing that. They're denying people because of damaging things on social media. Not to mention the disappointment of family and parents and relatives and things when it's something negative. So let's talk about Eduardo's choices that he made. Let's look at this here through the lens of the 5 safety steps. Know what's up. If he could have remembered, that, well, the first step, it's drinking, it's illegal, but then to post that, he knew that was wrong. He made a bad choice. He should have, when he saw that going down at the party, he could have left. He could have said, hey, I've got a future. I, don't want to be part of this. It could mess up my scholarship or my sports involvement, which would have been make a move. And then he could have talked it up. He could have told an adult and remembered not to be embarrassed. If you take the high road, take the right road, be that leader, help others make those good choices too. You can set an example for other people. And if they're the right friend, they will respect you for that. And if they don't, then they probably weren't worth being your friend anyway. All right, so moving on to catch, the catches of technology. The second letter is A in catch for attachments. And technology can impact our relationships with others by taking attention away from people. We can get so tuned into our device that we forget about people. And I know you've all probably been in a room, maybe you're at a restaurant or at a family event, and you look around and everybody's just on their phones. They're not talking to each other. They're not interacting with each other. So I think it's important to not allow technology to rope us in, and we can actually become addicted to it. And it can have a negative impact on us socially. We can forget how to be interactive with people and not be awkward. So just an awareness. Don't let technology rope you in, and encourage your family to do things like at dinner time, everybody puts their phones away. Or if you go out to dinner as a family, everybody's phones are away. Like that, you have to make that time to interact with each other. Another example of how technology has affected people's attachments and relationships is cyberbullying. And I think you've probably all heard of that. Let's see here, some examples of cyberbullying. I went too far, I think. So examples, sending mean or harassing texts or messages, posting a rumor, posting embarrassing pictures or videos of somebody, and setting up false profiles to harass someone. And I bet you guys have heard of or know of someone who has been cyberbullied, maybe even you have. 1 in 5 teens say that they have experienced it themselves in some way. And it tends to start in middle school and gets worse in high school. Let's see, the internet can make people feel hidden or anonymous online. We get behind our screen and we don't have to face what we say. We think that we don't have to face it. And it's what's called keyboard courage. And it allows people to, for trolls and do these disrespectful and hurtful comments that they probably might not say to somebody face to face, but behind the keyboard, they get that courage. It's important to remember that we aren't ever truly anonymous online. And yes, there is the fear that someone could hold us accountable for what we've said, but also the world is rough enough. Let's be kind. And if you see a situation going down online and you can intervene a text and say, hey guys, stop, or say something kind instead of something ugly. That's what I would love for you guys, because the world has enough ugliness already. All right, what would you do? I'm going to read a scenario that I want you to think about yourself if you were in this and what you would do in the same situation. And remember those 5 safety rules. All right, so 3 girls, Sarah, Shelley, and Michelle, and they've been friends since 3rd grade, longtime friends, and they're hanging out. And 2 of the girls, Sarah and Shelley, are online, and they start making fun, posted some mean things about another girl online. And they want, it's an Instagram account, and they tell Michelle to sign into her Instagram account and post with them. Michelle doesn't really know this girl that well. She's not in class with her. And she knows cyberbullying is wrong, and she recognizes that what her friends are doing is cyberbullying. What would you do if you were Michelle? Think about that for a minute. We all know what we could do. What would we have the courage to do? Would we have the courage to tell those friends, hey, let's not do that, guys? I hope that that would be what you would be able to do. Let's look at another one. Oops, I think I may have gone too far. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, no, it was just the one about Michelle. So a lot of things, Michelle, she could, just post something nice instead of something mean if her friends didn't stop. And she could have left. She could have been like, I'm not going to be here while you guys do that. She could make the move, one of those safety rules. And of course, she could go talk it up and tell an adult, and the adult could deal with the girls. It's not snitching if it is saving somebody. So many young people, teenagers, don't report cyberbullying because they feel like they can't control the adults. What's my dad going to do about what's online, or mom, or teachers? But here's the thing, cyberbullying generally doesn't stop on its own a lot of times without intervention. And so, it can have negative consequences. Remember, people have harmed themselves because they've been so upset about something that's been posted about them. So it's a real safety issue. And remember that reporting or telling is not snitching if it's done to benefit or help others. And if you were at a brick and mortar school, I wanted to make sure that you guys know how to report cyberbullying or even regular bullying at school. And there is a process. And if you tell an adult you'd like to report, one of those staff members you would like to report bullying, they have to address that. There's a form that they can give you, you fill it out, and the administration must, it's a law, they have to look into the situation. So, and the same for cyberbullying. If you have a situation going on, we as Putnam Virtual are your school, and you can report bullying to us. All right, so now we're going to talk about we're still talking about the catch phrase. Now we're on to the T, which stands for time. And how much time do you spend online? Now we know you have to do your schoolwork. You're a virtual student. Of course, you have to do your schoolwork. But beyond that, you've already spent all that time on the schoolwork. How much time beyond that are you gaming, socializing on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, whatnot? How many hours a day do you think you're on? 6, 8? What do you think? And that includes your phone as well as your laptop. Well, the truth is that many people are spending way too much time online, and it can cause a lot of issues with even your vision, like eye fatigue and everything, looking at the screen all day long. But the bigger problems are, the social impact, the negative impact of not taking time to do regular activities, fitness, doing things that are off your device. And it's important to get off your device, interact with people, and interact with life and nature, and do some fun things offline. So time. They gave the example here of, have you ever sent someone a message and they didn't respond right away and then you got annoyed by it? That's the society we live in. We're so used to everything being instantaneously. If we want to know something, we can Google it. We expect, to be able to text someone and get something back right away. And whether it's, a movie at our fingertips on Netflix, or we can buy something on Amazon and get it the next day. There's a phenomenon called FOMO, fear of missing out. And a lot of people are, jump online because they don't want to miss something that they might have seen on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever you're on. And here's some facts about online. There's so much, you could never keep up with everything, and it'll be there. So don't worry about getting off, taking time away. There's so much on there, and it'll just continue to grow. All right, we're on to continuing on with the catches of technology, character and reputation. And probably to me, this is super important out of all of the problems that we're talking about. Everything you do online can impact your character. It reflects your character, and it can impact your reputation, and it can follow you into adulthood. The website iroc2.org has coined a phrase and a mindset called public and permanent. Public and permanent is the phrase that you should keep in mind when you are posting online. Public and permanent, because everything you post is public and permanent. Even with privacy settings, everything you post can be public, and others can access your information, your posts, your pictures. Have you ever even noticed those pop-up ads on your social media after you've been shopping or looking at something? This is because even though your settings might be private, you are still allowing advertisers to access your information. What you do online is also permanent. There's really no delete key. It might look like it's been taken down, but once you've posted or shared content, you're not in control anymore. You can't take it back completely ever. And you won't be able to undo the damage it's done to others if it was about someone else, or to your own digital reputation. So it's important when using technology and posting online and interacting online to ask yourself, what do I want my digital story? If someone was to look at your digital profiles, your social media, what does that say about you? What kind of person you are? And your treatment of others. Do you make fun of people? Are you kind? Is it positive? Is it negative? What do you want it to be? And what you want it to be, you can make it from here forward. And what is the impact of countless selfies and negative comments? What if you were posting them about other people? What could that impact be? How do my actions impact others? that could do serious mental health damage for other people. That's beyond our even understanding of how terribly that could manifest itself. So you're going to be faced with many choices online, and I'm hoping that you guys will keep the safety rules in mind and make really good choices with your social media and create a positive digital reputation for yourself and help others do the same. So we're talking about this public and permanent concept. And let's talk about why it's public and permanent, how it could be public and permanent. Well, somebody could screenshot it. And let me tell you, students do this all the time. I remember back on Snapchat, people would do things because they thought, oh, it goes away. Well, all it took was a second for someone to snap it, take a picture, screenshot it, and send it on. And I can't tell you the incidents that I've had to investigate and try to problem solve and deal with that were because of screenshotting content. Someone could accidentally save something as public instead of private. Someone could hack your page or device or your friend's device, like a parent, and wanting to find out what's going on. The person's privacy settings might allow others to access the picture, and someone may have gotten a hold of someone else's password. So everything can be public and permanent. So you want to use safety rule number 1, know what's up, remembering public and permanent when you're about to post something will help you be a responsible digital citizen and help you create a good digital reputation for yourself. We used to call it our digital footprint. Colleges, future employers, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad might look at that digital reputation, and the employers or college entrance people to assess your character or your employability. So think about what you want it to say and make the choices accordingly. You have to be prepared for anything you do online to become public and permanent. And so posting positive and appropriate things displays good character. So this is that website that coined the phrase public and permanent, the IROC2. So if you want any more information about that, and also I think they have a lot of good content on there. So finally, moving on to our last letter, we're getting there, guys, is the H. The final catch of technology is health and safety. And think of the ways we've touched on it a little bit, but how technology can negatively impact your health and safety. There are other risks like identity theft, cyberbullying, sexting, exposure to pornography or inappropriate images without clothes, and exposure to online predators. And let's talk a little bit about online predators. So online predators are adults or even other teens who establish an online friendship with someone so they can groom them for sexual abuse or exploitation. They often start with gaming or social media, virtual reality sites and apps to find a student, a young person, and maybe someone who's unhappy, and they give them some attention. They can pretend to be someone else. They may use a different picture, maybe even a picture of someone young. They create this fake profile. We used to call it catfishing, and they're actually not who they say they are. Or sometimes they are who they say they are, and they're just a bad person. The abuse can begin as innocent friendship, seemingly, but then once they've established your trust, they try to force you or get you to do things you would normally do, unsafe things such as sexting or sending them inappropriate pictures. And then one of the things that can happen is once they get that first picture, they can sort of leverage with that and threaten to send it out or post it online if they don't get more. That's sextortion. And I have dealt with that in our schools as well as the fake profile, the catfishing thing, when they pretend to be someone else and get people to do things. And this can also lead ultimately to sexual exploitation, which includes pictures, messages, webcams, or even real life meetups and interactions for sexual purposes. Sometimes online predators will manipulate a child or teen into meeting them in real life. Like, if you don't meet me, I'm going to show this picture, or tell about some things that a teen doesn't want that picture to be shown, and so they do what this person's asking, and it can ultimately lead to terrible, terrible things, even sex trafficking, kidnapping. You've seen this on the news. If you haven't, it's out there. We'll talk a little bit more about human trafficking in a later lesson, and sex trafficking, but it can begin, and often does, with online interaction. All right, we talked a little bit about what sextortion is. Here's a little bit more.
I can't stop thinking about you. I know you've been waiting for this for a while. I wanted to give you something special. Who are you? Why are you doing this?
So that's pretty scary. And I know it's a little shocking to see that, but we have to talk about these things because it's happening out there. And you got to be smart, and you got to be aware, and not fall into that trap. So, do you think she'd been talking to him for a long time? I don't know if you caught it, but she said, I know you've been waiting for this for a long time. So he had developed some trust with her. He had been communicating, and I don't know if you caught what he looked like and what the picture that was posted online as him was. But the picture posted online, she thought she was talking to a teenage guy, and he looked like more 40-ish. And then, I don't know if you caught this or not, but was he doing this to other people? If you saw him drag that file onto the desktop there, you saw there were lots of folders. And a lot of these people that do this kind of thing don't just stop with one person. They try to see how many more they can get roped in. And this video was based on a real true life story of a teenager, and she reported what happened. And that rule, talk it up, she told somebody, because that would have just, she would have really had a mental struggle dealing with all that, as she was, you could see. She finally did the right thing. She told somebody, and she worked with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The man was ultimately caught, and they did the IP address search thing, and they found him, and they found 300 folders on his computer of young middle and high school girls, just like her, that he had basically gotten to do what they did. So it's important to know that this happens, and it doesn't just happen to it doesn't just happen to girls, it can happen to boys and young men as well. No one your age should ever let it happen to them. And it happens every day, everywhere. If someone is exploiting you, asking you to do things that you know are wrong, use that safety rule. Move away, get away from there, shut it down, say, use that assertive tone, in your text. No, I'm not going to do that, and stick to it. No, and stick to it, and break it off with that person that you're messaging. Even if it gets to the point where maybe somebody does do something wrong, it's never too late. Don't think that it's beyond repair. You can report it and get someone to intervene and stop it before it goes worse. Because when you think, oh, it couldn't go any worse, it can always be worse. And remember the safety rule number 5, no blame, no shame. You are a minor. Young people make mistakes. It's the adults out here, us adults, that are responsible and need to intervene and help you. And it generally, that type of harassment and pressuring won't stop until you report it. And you can report any type of behavior. There's a cyber tip line. It's you can Google it, but it's 1-800-843-5678. And if you need help dealing with any kind of situation like that, you can also text FREE, F-R-E-E, to 233-733, where you connect with a counselor 24/7. And of course, Ms. Putman and I are also here, as well as your trusted adults in your life. But don't just silently suffer. Make sure that you tell someone so we can get you the help that you need. And it doesn't have it in the presentation, but remember, even people we trust, like boyfriends and girlfriends, can ask us to do things that could hurt us ultimately. We never want to assume that anything sent is safe. I don't care how much you think they would do something. We talked about the ways that things can fall into the wrong hands. So avoid. These are just some questions back about so we talked about the 5 steps, safety rules. Know what's up, know what's safe and what's not safe online. See those red flags, someone asking you for something inappropriate. Make a move, get away from there, shut it down, use your assertive voice in text or in words. No, I'm not going to do that. Don't ask me again. And talk it up. Tell somebody trusted. And remember, if something does happen, no blame, no shame. All right, what would you do? I'm going to read several scenarios, and I want you to think about your response to each. Someone asks you to send them inappropriate pictures. What would you do? Maybe it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, a stranger, a friend. They want you to send an inappropriate picture. What would you do? Ponder this one. A friend told you someone asked them for inappropriate pictures. What would you do? All right, so let's go back to number 1. Hopefully, you know what's up, and you know, do not send any inappropriate pictures online. It is public and permanent, always, in one way or another. And if a friend told you someone asked them, encourage that friend not to. Maybe they don't know about the safety rules, or maybe they were feeling a little weak. Remind them about that it's not safe, don't do it. What if you get a text from a friend with an inappropriate picture of a girl in your class with a mean caption? What would you do? Well, hopefully you would not propagate that, not join in, and even encourage your friends to stop it, spread that kindness. And going back about the sexting problem, 48% of teens say they have received sex. 20% of teens have sent nude or semi-nude pictures, and 9% have sent sexually suggestive messages. So you will hear about it if you have not yet, eventually. And you need to understand that sending or sharing nude or explicit images is illegal. Even if it's was sent to you and you send it on, you are propagating child pornography if that person in the picture is under 18, and you can be charged. Every person that sent it on can be charged. And if you receive an image like that and you didn't ask for it, hopefully you didn't, do not share it with others. Report it to a safe adult so it can be taken down and dealt with. A safe adult, a school official, law enforcement, somebody like that. And there is that digital danger. Make sure that you make smart decisions out there, and be ready, have a firm plan for how you're going to respond when someone asks you to send a picture. We talked about those. All right, let's see here. We have some review, like a little quiz. All right, and this is going to be true and false. And you have to just think to yourself, is this true or false? Number one, if you post something online that you later think is not good for your digital reputation, you can always delete it and no one will see it. True or false? Yeah, that's false. Remember, public and permanent. There are multiple ways that it never completely goes away, even if we try to take it down and delete it. All right, next one. Sexting is one example of something you can do online that is unsafe and harmful for yourself and may lead to many negative consequences. True or false? Yeah, that's definitely true. It is okay to be friends with someone online that you don't know in real life, as long as they are your own age. Well, that's a little bit of a tricky one. What do you think, true or false? Well, depends what you consider friends. Technically, that's false. If you don't really know them, you don't really know who they are. They could be someone else, so they're not really your friend. Okay, the 5 safety rules, along with remembering the responsibilities for being a good digital citizen, can help you stay safe online. That's an easy one, true. And the last one, the catch of technology explains the various ways technology can impact your life. True or false? Catch. Yeah, that's the bad impacts, technically. And just a quick safety review, know what's up, spot those red flags, make a move, get away from the situation, even if it's your friends, distance yourself, talk it up, and no blame, no shame. Remember that. All right, well, thanks guys for listening to the Teen Safety Matters lesson 1. We're done with the digital safety content. And if you want to hang around, the next little bit here is going to be like a 4-minute music video that is just for fun. If you want to watch it, it's about those 5 safety rules. So again, thank you for watching this. I hope it reinforced what you probably already do about digital safety.
Let me tell you something important about your safety. There are 5 rules for you to know. Rule 1, know what's up. Learn how to stay safe and talk to adults you trust. Rule 2, spot red flags. No safety concepts such as personal space or boundaries. Rule 3, make a move. When you see anything that looks wrong, trust yourself and act. Rule 4, talk it up. Talk to other kids and adults about safety. And rule 5, no blame, no shame. No, it's not your fault for whatever happens. That's all you really need to know about your safety. But for right now, let's have some fun with it. Everybody to the beat, their hands up, dance to the beat, their hands up, dance. dabbing to the beat, throw your hands up. With the folks to the beat, throw your hands up. If you bow to the beat, throw your hands up. Dancing to the beat, throw your hands up. Dabbing to the beat, throw your hands up. With the folks to the beat, throw your hands up. Know what's up, spin that flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know your name, let me hear you clap your hands. Know what's up, spin that flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know your name, let me hear you clap your hands. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, clap your hands. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, clap your hands. Day after day, nothing's gonna bring you down. Run, laughter, play round and round in the town. Having a great time, ain't thinking about nothing else. But when it comes to safety, the 5 rules will help. Know what's up, spin red flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know you need, let me hear you clap your hands. Know what's up, spin red flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know you need, let me hear you clap your hands. Let the children know they're never to blame. Make a move, talk it up, no blame, no shame. Use these 5 safety rules just to be safe. Remember, safety matters, there's no other way. Know what's up, spin red flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know you need, let me hear you clap your hands. Know what's up, spin red flags, make a move. Talk it up, no blame, no shame. Let the world know you need, let me hear you clap your hands. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, clap your hands. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, clap your hands. All right, I see y'all. Y'all kept up, but I got something else for y'all to do. Clap your hands. 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 Keep up. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Go a little bit faster though. Clap, 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 clap. Clap your hands. Clap. Fast. Clap, clap.
Are you guys
Clap.
back?
Keep up. Clap, clap, fast. Clap, 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 clap. Keep up. Clap, 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 clap. Just remember, your safety matters, and nothing will never, ever change that.
All right. Bye, guys.